You've probably heard a million times that drinking too much beer will give you bellies. It's one of those sayings that's so common, it feels like universal truth. Beer equals belly. Simple, right? Well, not exactly. Like most things in health, the real story is way messier, a little weirder, and probably funnier than you expect. Today, we're cracking open a cold one. Not to drink, but to investigate what alcohol actually does to your gut. Let's find out right here on History of Food. Let's start with the classic myth, the so-called beer belly. The idea is that beer itself is uniquely fattening, like it bypasses your stomach and glues itself directly to your waistline. In reality, beer is just another source of calories. A pint of regular beer has about 150 calories, roughly the same as a slice of bread or a small handful of fries. Not exactly outrageous. The issue is, who drinks one beer? Not many. Beer is a social beverage, which often means 2, 3, maybe 6 pints, plus nachos, wings, or pizza because, let's be honest, drinking makes greasy food sound like Michelin-star dining. So it's not just the beer, it's the beer and the beer munchies. Here's where things get sneaky. Alcohol is basically liquid energy. It packs 7 calories per gram, which puts it right between carbs and fat on the calorie scale. But unlike protein, carbs, or fat, alcohol doesn't bring nutrients your body can use for building muscle or repairing tissue. It's what nutritionists call empty calories. And your body treats those calories differently. It puts them at the front of the line. When alcohol enters your system, your liver hits pause on everything else, burning fat, processing carbs, breaking down protein, and goes straight to metabolizing booze. Think of your liver like a bartender at last call. It drops everything and yells, "Deal with the alcohol first." That means the burrito you ate before your beers gets shoved onto the back burner, more likely to be stored as fat. So basically, no, beer doesn't magically build a belly on its own. But it does act like a traffic cop, telling your metabolism to park all those other calories in storage while your body focuses on clearing out alcohol. Add in the fact that alcohol lowers inhibitions, translation, you say yes to second dinners, midnight burgers, and extra cheesy fries, and suddenly that beer belly starts looking more like a life choices belly. Now, why the belly specifically? Why not beer thighs or beer arms? Fat storage patterns are influenced by hormones, genetics, and sex differences. Men, in particular, are more prone to store fat in the abdominal area because of testosterone levels and how their bodies prioritize fat distribution. Women, by contrast, often store fat more evenly across the hips and thighs. So the beer belly stereotype sticks to dudes, while women might gain in different places. It's less about beer itself and more about biology. But alcohol doesn't just play games with fat storage. It also messes with your gut on a deeper level. For one, booze is irritating, literally. Alcohol can inflame the lining of your stomach and intestines, which can lead to bloating, acid reflux, or that charming morning-after trip to the bathroom. Ever wonder why your stomach feels puffy after a night out? That's partly water retention and partly your gut saying, "Why did you do this to me?" And then there's the microbiome, the billions of bacteria hanging out in your intestines that help digest food and keep your immune system running. Alcohol can disrupt this delicate ecosystem, shifting the balance of good bacteria to a less friendly ones. Think of it like throwing a frat party in your gut. Things get loud, messy, and someone's definitely throwing up in the corner. Over time, heavy drinking can lead to leaky gut syndrome, where your intestinal lining becomes more permeable, letting stuff into your bloodstream that shouldn't be there. That can trigger inflammation throughout your body, which is linked to all sorts of health issues, from belly fat to chronic disease. Now, let's talk beer specifically. Beer has carbs from malted grains, which add extra calories beyond the alcohol itself. Compare that to something like vodka soda, which has virtually no carbs, just alcohol and water. This is why some people argue that beer is worse for your waistline than spirits. And in a way, they're right. Beer gives you a double whammy of alcohol calories and carb calories. But again, the bigger culprit is usually how much and how often you're drinking. A couple of beers on Friday night? Probably fine. A six-pack every other day? Your gut bacteria are filing HR complaints as we speak. In addition, there's also a psychological angle. Beer is marketed as a casual, all-the-time drink, watching sports, backyard barbecues, happy hour, even shower beers for the adventurous. Spirits and cocktails, on the other hand, tend to feel more like special occasion drinks. So people often drink more volume of beer than they would of whiskey or tequila. More volume equals more calories, and yes, more belly. But before you swear off booze forever, let's keep this in perspective. Moderate drinking, defined as 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 for men, is unlikely to blow up your waistline by itself. Some studies even suggest light to moderate alcohol intake might have certain health benefits, though that research is still debated. The real trouble comes with consistent overdrinking, poor diet choices while drinking, and lack of exercise. If your lifestyle already leans sedentary, alcohol just adds fuel to the fire. So what can you do if you like a cold one but don't want to grow a keg where your six-pack used to be? First, moderation. That sounds boring, but it works. Second, hydration. Alternate your beers with water, not only to pace yourself, but also to avoid confusing thirst with hunger later on. Third, choose lighter options if you're concerned about calories. Light beer, dry wine, or spirits with calorie-free mixers like soda water. And finally, maybe don't follow up your drinks with a family-sized order of fries. Your gut will thank you. At the end of the day, the beer belly isn't a curse handed down by the beer gods. It's a mix of calorie math, metabolic priorities, hormonal fat storage, and the fact that drunk you think tacos are a food group. Bro science likes to say beer turns straight into belly fat, but the truth is way less magical and way more about behavior. Alcohol makes you eat more, slows your fat burning, and encourages storage where your body is already genetically predisposed. That's it. So next time someone warns you about your growing beer belly, you can confidently say, "Actually, it's not just the beer, it's science." If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.